the poverty mindset is so embodied within us in terms of you always have to spend time in order to get money, you know? So if you see something that costs 1,000 euros, 10,000 euros, you're automatically thinking like, yo, this is three hours, 3 years of your life, 5 years of your life. You know that time is limited. Money is not limited, but time is limited. So automatically be like, no, I don't want to spend like 5 years of my life for this, because you have this lack mindset within yourself, you know?
And this attachment to time, money and time.
Exactly.
What else did we do in Vietnam? I was shopping a lot because it was an intense experience to go into an Asian country with European money. And I was really realizing that I can buy a lot with the resources that I have from home. And it triggered me at times because my mind was not attuned to this wealth. You know, I'm much more wealthy in Asia than in Europe because due to currency, my money is worth more in Asia than in Europe. So when I was there to realize, okay, I'm a wealthy person now, like literally, like I can buy 3 beverages a day. I go to the restaurant, I don't have to think about how much I order. That was kind of triggering me because back to back I got this feeling of guilt for spending money. And that really gave me a reality check because I see how that limits me into my real life back at home. Is I set a limitation to my wealth. I kinda accept what I have. But when I got a taste of that there's more, I was like,
I once read that money itself is not evil. Money will just show you who you are.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
And the more money you have, the more you will just see who you are. But it's, for me, I always think it's just in terms of who you subconsciously think you are, you know, because we are 99% the programming that we have within our subconscious unless we reprogram ourselves. So it was just funny for me because I didn't felt any guilt, but what I took from being at Vietnam in terms of money is just, it's so interesting to observe your mindset when you have money, because the challenge is not spending money. The challenge is really like to know you can spend all your money, you can buy so many things every single day because you're so rich, but you still just get what you really want and really need, you know? And that was for me like...
the responsibility of it.
Exactly. Responsibility always comes with freedom. So the freedom of being so wealthy in Vietnam, of being literally a millionaire, like spending million dongs here, million dongs there, like it's so crazy.
When I went shopping and I realized I'm spending $1 million again, I was like, I felt so guilty.
Because like €1 is around 30,000 dong. So if I buy a coconut, I'm already spending 20,000. I'm spending 20,000 for something so simple, you know. So if I buy, I don't know, something for €50, for €100, I'm spending like 100,000 or millions of dongs. So for me to just subconsciously experience spending this amount of money, I felt like you said,
it was reprogramming you.
Yeah, it was reprogramming myself in sense of what is money really? What is value? What is the value of money? If there's €100, €1,000, whatever, like it is just, if you still, that's why the poverty mindset is so embodied within us in terms of you always have to get time, you always have to spend time in order to get money, you know? So if you see something that costs 1,000 euros, 10,000 euros, you're automatically thinking like, yo, this is 3 hours, 3 years of your life, 5 years of your life. And you know that life, you know that time is limited. Money is not limited, but time is limited. So automatically be like, no, I don't want to spend like 5 years of my life for this, because you have this lack mindset within yourself, you know.
And this attachment to time, money and time.
Exactly. But if you see money just as a tool and know that, yeah, okay, I have millions, billions of money on my bank account, you're not spending your time, you're just spending something that is just a tool, you know. So for me, it just shifted my consciousness in terms of money so completely that I know, for example, that I'm here right now and I'm also still having this wealthy money mindset in terms of, I know I could buy 50 pizzas every single day. I know I could buy this stuff, but I just get what I really need. I only get like what I really need. And if there's something that I want, I observe myself, yo, do I really need this? Or rather, can I afford this? Because of course, sometimes we just want to go outside on a date, get a pizza here, whatever, like to just spend a little bit, you know, to treat yourself a little bit. But this opportunity that I could experience in Vietnam of being able like to have this amount of money, but still have to tell myself no to things and only get what I really want or really need, shifted my mind to just really be more disciplined in life, you know, to really be like more conscious about how I spend my money, what I want to get, how I live my life with money. That's what big impact this experience had for me.
Yeah, it was the same for me in terms of becoming more disciplined, how I spend money, because ultimately when you have these resources, you are facing your ego with money, and you know, in the beginning you might spend like more loosely, but then when I got all of a sudden this guilt because I knew, okay, I've spent like a few millions already. Then I was really facing my shadow and I was like, okay, but do you really feel guilty because you spent this money? Or do you feel guilty because you spent it on something you didn't really want that much? And I really had to sit down. And then I was like at the 4th thrift shop. I was like, okay, let me really sit down and observe why I'm feeling guilty right now. It was before I made the purchase. And then I took a few things back. And that was really profound for me, because the discipline is in having the resource but still saying no.
Exactly.
Because yes, you can buy all these things, but where is it getting you?
And I think that's the biggest challenge for, like, I listened to a podcast today from 90 Keys and Dr. Be Serious, and they talked about exactly about that. Like, Marcus Aurelius, I don't know if you know him. He was like, I think, the inventor of this Stoicism life, to be centered in yourself, to say no to things, to not just spend everything, like to be a disciplined human being, kind of. Because back then, in these eras, like these emperors and rulers of the nations, whatever, they had everything they want, because they were like the highest.
Very different.
They were the highest being in Rome, let's say, okay? So they had all the women, they had all the money, whatever, so they spent it like, they got multiple women pregnant or whatever. They had no discipline, because like they had this freedom, but they couldn't handle like this responsibility. No boundaries, and also nobody was there to take accountability of them, you know, except like maybe if they
hold them accountable.
Exactly, if they get a disease from fucking too many women or whatever, like. But otherwise, they're dead. Nobody could took them accountable, you know. So
hold them accountable.
Hold them accountable. So he was like the first emperor who was like very disciplined and brought in a different way of perceiving things. And that's what the society is in right now, you know. You can order some food on Volt immediately, you can buy whatever, you can get anything you want immediately. You can go on OnlyFans, like whatever, you can watch porn, like there's so many resources out there. So people, they have no discipline, they cannot say no. They cannot say no to things, so that's why they're easily controllable. But if you can control yourself, if you can have the access to everything, but still be focused and know that, okay, do I really need this? Do I want these shoes? Do I really have to?
Yourself.
Yeah. Do I want to spend like, get me another burger here on Volt or whatever? Like, this is the really challenge, and this is the real self-mastery, you know, to be able or to have the access to everything, but still be so focused and disciplined to only get the things that gonna bring it to a higher level.
It's so interesting how these advertisements for Volt, they are so like attaching onto your desire. It really, like this one particular Volt, which is a food delivery service in Germany, advertisement is like, what do you desire today? If you don't have self-control, you desire everything. And you spend on everything and they just want your money. So in a world where you can buy everything, it's more important than ever to be very certain how you want to spend your resources, your time and your money.
And time is the most precious resource we have. But we are programmed to... That's crazy. That's why the connection between time and money is so powerful, because we are programmed to value money more than our time. For example, I read in this book, and I also reflect on my own poverty money mindset, because there are situations where you, for example, you go to a supermarket, I go to a supermarket, I told you this example, I go to a supermarket, I want to buy, like, let's say, coconut milk. I see that this coconut milk costs €2.50, and I'm like, when I go to the other supermarket, I'm gonna save like 50 cents. It takes me 20 minutes or 30 minutes to get to the supermarket. So in my mind, I'm saying my time is only worth €1 an hour, because I'm gonna save 50 cents if I spend 30 minutes to get to the supermarket, So I value the money more than my time, even though my time should be like trillion dollars or trillion euros an hour. So we subconsciously don't make this connection, because we're so programmed to be in our poverty mindset to value money more than our time, and that's why the people...
That's why they give their time away for money.
Exactly. And these are just the things that I learned in Vietnam, because, like I told you, like, to just train my discipline of being able to buy everything, but still know that, if I'm full, I'm full. Sometimes I get a little dessert or anything, but I don't have to buy like 5 meals and 20 fur soups and 50 coconuts or whatever. Like, it just trained my discipline in a more profound way that I took to Germany again to just elevate to the next level.
Yeah. Gluttony,
exactly. I always called myself a gluttony activist. Because the way I used to eat, I'm very excited.
He was a real glutton.
I'm really...
I changed your life, honestly.
I'm really excited because I'm fasting also right now. I'm doing a 3-week grape fast only. I'm only eating grapes, and I'm at day 14. So after today, 2 weeks passed, and I still have 1 week to go. But I'm very excited, like, how I'm gonna approach eating after the fast. How I'm gonna approach like life in general, because like when you're fasting, that's the power of fasting, because you are training your discipline in such a profound way. That's why I'm very excited. Like, how is it gonna change my whole being in terms of money, in terms of food, in terms of time, and everything.
Your fasting journey has really healed your relationship to food.
Safe.
Because when I met you, your relationship was very messy.
Eating some... The first time you met me, I was in the kitchen eating some cake that was molded.
Yeah, okay, let me tell the story. Okay, so story time. The first time I met Kossi, when I literally walked into this crib, there was a party going on, and they brought out some cake that looked really disgusting. And it apparently had some mold on top of it.
It was a Vietnamese cake from Mom.
Oh.
That was in our fridge, I think, for a couple of days.
Ah, okay. And he did not want to throw it away. That's why he removed the mold. And I was just thinking to myself, that shit is nasty. And they were eating that stuff. And I remember being offered a piece of that cake. And I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
And you had a very greedy energy towards food. especially fast food. And for him, there was a lot of restriction around food. And then when he allowed himself to eat, he just indulged with no end, basically. He told me the story how when his mom woke up in the night to go to the bathroom or something, she found him sitting in the kitchen eating. That's how I find him when I fall asleep. And I wake up 3 hours later, it's like 3 a.m. He's like...
watching some anime,
Yeah.
snacking a little bit. But that's the thing, like, I don't know if we talked about this before, but everyone has their addiction, you know, everyone has their own kind of treatment for their, to just soothe yourself. And for me, that's food. But the question is not, or rather, the question is always like, why do I get to this point where I have to soothe myself? And that's why that's what I'm mastering, like to be in balance, to be relaxed, to not be in this lack mode all the time, to not be in this craving mode all the time, because then automatically when I get into this mode, I have to soothe myself, I have to eat because I want to treat myself for not taking care of myself good enough. So that's always the challenge, but that's also with the fast. I'm learning like to just be disciplined, and then after that I'm also going to treat myself a little bit, but in a more healthy, balanced way, to not indulge like eating 3 bowls of, like, you know what kind of bowls of rice I ate when in my teenage years.
Oh no, I don't, but I can imagine, because the amount of, like, the portion size for him is like, when we on a vacation, we always calculate that he's like 70% paying for 70%, and I'm like 30% because he eats a lot.
But that's where we also come back again to the point from before, because I have to learn that even though I can eat this amount, I can buy all this stuff, I can order all this stuff, I only do the what's it called in Japanese? Hachi hanibu or anything, like in Okinawa, where they only eat like to the 80% full. That's what I have to learn, because my mind is still programmed to be like, yo, I don't know when I'm gonna get food next time. I have to eat all the plates, eat all the bread, eat everything. Do not let anything go to waste, you know. But I have to learn that, yo, you're abundant, you have enough, chill, relax. You can eat that later. You can eat it in 2 hours. That's what I'm also learning with the fast, because even though I'm eating like 7 portions of grapes every single day, but every portion of grapes is not that much, you know? It's not that I feel full after eating a portion. It's just like I feel energized enough to go on and hold it for 2 hours, and then I have to eat the next one. But usually I would eat like 3 portions of that at once. So I'm learning like to eat at 80% and reprogram my subconscious to know that, yo, you're safe, you're enough, you have enough. Chill, be in abundance mindset. Don't be in lack. Don't think that you have to eat some molded stuff because you're going to lose whatever you think you're going to lose, you know?
Lose an opportunity, an experience, whatever. But what's for you, you can never lose. So maybe it just wasn't meant for you then. And yeah, I'm also very big on the reparenting myself now that I'm fasting, because a lot comes up when you're fasting.
Everything.
Something that I really wouldn't expect to come up was some memories I unconsciously buried because they were painful. And a lot of them were from my teens.